guys, I'm Cheney. Welcome back to my channel, a place where you can find all things self-development, lifestyle and intentional living. This week I'm going to be discussing with you how to hack your habits, the easiest way to form good habits and break bad ones. First of all, let's get started with what are habits. Habits are something that you do automatically or subconsciously over and over again without thinking about it. This can be an action, a thought, or an emotional response. They are what make up who we are. The identity that we have for ourselves and the identity that we assume for others is all founded around their habits. If someone has a habit of always cancelling on you and being unreliable and flaky, you associate their identity with being unreliable. You say that they're an unreliable person. And that's all founded in because they have habits of letting people know they're going to be late, too late, or not letting people know that they're going to be late, for example. Or if someone has a habit of exercising regularly, you will associate their identity with somebody of being sporty. This can sometimes be an alarming realization that your bad habits are actually part of your identity and maybe people associate you with your bad habits. But on the flip side, knowing this is how we can re-engineer our identity and our habits to be a better person. We can change who we are simply by changing our habits. A simple and profound realization. So why do we have habits? Our brain has a need to find the quickest and easiest way to provide our body with pleasures. It's lazy, okay? It wants to find the quickest route it can to satisfy a need. The first time we have a craving for something or we're looking for relief for something, it's kind of an experimental game. Our brain doesn't yet know what is going to provide it with relief and give us pleasure or put us in a pleasurable state. It will just wait and get you to keep trying things until it finds something that satisfies or gives it the response it looks for. For example, the first time that you've ever experienced stress, your body is now craving stress relief. That's the pleasure state that your brain is looking for. You might eat, you might sleep, you might play a video game, you might go get a cigarette. Whichever one you try first and gives your body that stress relief that it's looking for, your body is now going to remember that so that next time you're triggered and you feel stressed, your body instantly is going to be like, let's go do that thing again because that worked last time. It's already telling you to go back there straight away because it knows that that works for you. It's just trying to figure out the most effective way for you to be in a better state of being. Next thing you know, every time you're stressed, you're going for that cigarette, you're going for that PlayStation remote, or you're going for that jar of cookies, and it's become a bad habit. It's this lazy human engineering that actually allows us to form bad habits so easily. Our brain doesn't see them as bad, it just associates them as satisfying a need. So into the meaty part of this video is how our habits formed. There are 4 elements to forming a habit, which I'm going to go through with you now, and it's these 4 habits that we use to work in our favor in both creating a new habit and also breaking a bad one. So step 1 is cue, step 2 is craving, step 3 is response, and step 4 is reward. I'm going to break this down for you to explain what this means. So step 1 is cue. This is the first time your body is triggered to have a craving. So something will happen that triggers you to crave a thing. That's your cue. It sets the habit in motion. The craving is the desire to have a thing or to do something or to feel a certain way. The response is you taking action against that craving, and the reward is the pleasure state or that satisfied feeling you have after taking action. So for example, something makes me feel stressed. So stress is my cue. I then have a craving for stress relief. I then go and smoke a cigarette, taking the action, and then I feel stress relief. I feel relaxed. The reward. Now we understand these components, I'm going to talk you through how we can use them in our favor. So if we want to break a bad habit, here are the 4 things you can do at each stage in order to make breaking that habit easier. So step 1, manipulating the cue. If you want to remove a bad habit or stop doing a habit altogether, remove the cue. Stop putting yourself in situations where you know you're going to start to be triggered. So if you know that stress, for example, is a trigger for something, put yourself in less stressful situations, figure out a way to stop yourself being as stressed. You can remove or reduce the cue, you're not going to actually start the process of doing the thing. Step 2 is to reframe your mindset. So the whole thing with a craving is the anticipation of doing that thing that makes you want it. So if you can reframe your mind to make that thing less attractive, you're less likely to actually pursue it. So for example, if smoking is your stress relief and you're craving a cigarette, instead of being like, oh, it's going to make me feel so relaxed, you start thinking about all the bad things it's doing for you. It can cause me cancer, it makes me smell, it's bad for my teeth, and whatever it is. Reframe your mind to associate that thing with bad things, and all of a sudden it's going to become less attractive for you to do. You're not associating it with the pleasure anymore, you're associating it with something negative. Step 3 3, response. Make it harder for you to do the thing. Put more steps between you and the thing so that it becomes more effort to do. If something is less easy to do, your brain's not going to want to do it anymore because it's going to take longer to get the reward. So if there's something else that you can do that's quicker, it's not going to go pursue that path anymore. For example, if it's smoking, one way you could put more steps between you and smoking is to lock all of your doors and windows so that when you want to smoke, you have to go and find the key and unlock a door or window in order to do it. Or stop buying cigarettes, that if you want to smoke, you have to physically go to the store to actually get the cigarettes. Whatever it is, put more steps between you and that thing and it will become less desirable to actually do. Finally, how to manipulate the reward is just make it less satisfying. If doing that thing isn't going to be fulfilling anymore, isn't going to satisfy that need, your brain will stop telling you to do it. The only reason why it wanted you to do it in the first place was to feel fulfilled, and when you stop feeling as fulfilled or as satisfied, it becomes less desirable to do. Now, in the same way that we can use the 4 cues to manipulate us breaking a bad habit, we can also use it to help us engineer forming a good habit. So to form a good habit, you want to, instead of removing the cues all the time, you want to trigger yourself all the time. So say you want to set up a habit to start running. One of your cues could be to leave your running shoes out in front of you all the time to remind you to run. Or it could be putting posters up of runners everywhere that makes you think, oh yeah, I need to go on and run. You need to set the cues up for yourself all the time to start you initiating doing that thing. Habits are formed by repetition. The more you can set the cue off to get the habit going, the more likely and the quicker it is that you're going to actually form the habit. Step 2 is, instead of reframe your mind to find all the bad reasons of doing the thing, reframe your mind to find all the good reasons of doing that thing. So if it's getting up and going for a run and doing that exercise, think about all the positives that come from that. I'm going to feel better afterwards, endorphins, I can clear my head, it's good to get out in nature, all of these different things. Rally yourself up, like enforce all of the reasons why you should do that thing. Step 3, response. Make it easier to do the thing. So take away as many steps as possible as you can between you and achieving the thing. So as I said earlier, if it's running, put your running shoes out by your bed so that first thing in the morning you just get dressed and go for a run. Or as soon as you get back from work, you get dressed and go for a run. So instead of going into your cupboard and fumbling around to get all of your gym gear out and your running shoes, it's just already there for you. Reduce the amount of friction between you and executing the thing. This is going to make it easier for you to do. And also, it gives you less time to convince yourself not to do it. If it takes 2 seconds to get in the mode to do that thing, you've got only 2 seconds to convince yourself. If it's going to take you 20 minutes to get in and do that thing, you've got a long time to convince yourself not to do it, and it makes it way less satisfying to do. And finally, make the reward more rewarding. So whatever it is for you, make the end of that reward better. The one thing that makes good habits harder to form is because good habits tend to not show their reward until longer down the line. So for example, if you want to get in the habit of being a runner, you might not reap the benefits of running regularly until you've been doing it for a month or 2. Whereas bad habits tend to give you instant reward, like smoking is an instant stress relief, eating is an instant comfort. Another way to enforce your good habits is through habit stacking. So this is by inserting a new habit you're trying to form in between habits that you already have. So let's look at your morning routine, for example. If you are trying to set up a running habit, your cue could be as soon as the alarm goes off and you turn it off, then you get dressed. So the execution of one habit is your cue to start another, and it usually is best to put it in a flow of what makes sense. So for example, if it's to start meditating, it might be that usually you get up, you have a shower, you make your coffee, and then you sit down and do some emails, or you go to get dressed. Whereas now it might be you get up, have a shower, grab your coffee, sit down, meditate, and then get dressed. So you want to do it when it's in a loop with other things. That makes it easy to do. And the end of one habit means, oh yeah, I now know it's time to do that other habit. This just makes it easier because you're always doing that thing. It's triggering the cue off you all the time. And because it's already within a string of stuff you already do, it makes it easier to do. It's more encouraging. The second thing that you can do is assigning a time and a place for you to do the thing. By giving the action or the habit a responsibility or a time to execute, you're more likely to do it. So if you say your habit is to start reading, you say, I'm going to read every single evening at 7 p.m. in my bedroom. 7 p.m. is the time and your bedroom is the place. So every time that 7 p.m. comes along, that's your trigger and you go to your place to read. Whereas if you just say, I'm going to start a habit to read more and don't assign a time to do it, when do you do it? You have to make a decision to do it. You're having more things to think about. It's going to make the thing harder to do. If you're really interested in getting into the nitty-gritty of habits, because I have just briefly covered a spectrum of different ways that you can do it. I really do suggest reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a fantastic book, and this is where I've got all of this information from. I found it really, really useful, and it's helped me in forming some good habits myself and also breaking some bad ones, so I would definitely recommend it. If you are interested, I'll leave a link to that in the section below. Otherwise, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy this. I'll also leave links to my socials down in the description box if you're interested in looking at them there. I post videos every single Sunday, so I will